Hi guys. So I just wanted to make a video to explain my blood experiment. Um, because I've written it out a lot of times and I've talked to people about it, but I've never made a video to like completely explain this. So what happened was I was making dinner one night. I was cutting an onion with this really freaking amazing sharp knife, and I actually cut the shit out of my finger. Like, I probably need stitches, but I'm kind of stubborn and a jerk, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna finish making my dinner, and then, if I still need stitches, I'll go do that after dinner. Like, I have to feed my kids and stuff, right? So it's like, just not gonna do it. So what I did was I wrapped it up in a paper towel, and I made this for you to show you, just like this. It's really thick. It's not focusing very well, but it's there. It goes. Anyway, it's really thick, and it was bleeding a lot. Oh my god! Like, I seriously thought, am I going to bleed to death? It was bleeding so much, it was ridiculous. By the time I finished making dinner, like, I had to rewrap this finger so many times. I'm going to take this off now, but I had to rewrap this finger so many times that the amount of blood that was on these paper towels was ridiculous. So I sit down and I'm kind of gross. Like, I for whatever reason, I just grabbed the roll of paper towels, and I was sitting here at my desk, and I'm like rewrapping it again, and I would throw the bloody paper towel just right here in front of me, and I'd just wrap it up because I was like putting pressure and kind of holding it, and just didn't throw them away. And before I knew it, I had like 7 paper towels that were bloody sitting right here. So anyway, what I did was I got a little bit of water, just normal tap water, and I put it on one of my little paper towels, that was just sitting here soaked, completely soaked all the way through with blood. And I just worked it, I just played with it, kind of rubbed it a little like this, and it was wet. And I squeezed it like this. Squeezed it, and I made drips on a notebook pad that I have sitting here. I made drips of blood, little blood drops, with my bloody... Please don't think I'm crazy for playing with blood, but I was curious, right? I mean, aren't we all curious? I made blood drops, and I folded it probably about like this, to where it's just kind of pointed a little bit like that. And I wiped it on that paper and made that little V shape that's by the ignition that looks like it was done with swabs. I made that same exact, it was identical. I made that same exact mark with just a folded up paper towel and squeezed it. There's blood there, I could make drips, and I squeezed it and made the swipes. The blood was not completely dry on the first one that I did. It was still, somewhat wet. Hadn't hardened or anything gross like that. But I did actually, out of curiosity, I grabbed one of the older ones that was almost completely dry. And I did put some water on it and did the same sort of thing. Like, I got it to where it would drip and it was wet. And I did make drip marks, and I did make swipe marks with that too. The drip marks looked a little watered down, but the swipe marks looked the same. it wasn't very noticeable because it is a swipe mark, so it is a thinner, I guess it's already thinner because it's swiped. So it didn't really look different, but the only thing that was different was the little drip. And so I know, and I know this probably sounds crazy, everybody thinks I'm a Looney Tune, but whatever, man. I'm like all serious about trying to do my own testing if I can, and it would just so happened randomly that I cut the shit out of myself and I could do this. Unfortunately, this was before I was even making YouTube videos, so I didn't think to get a video of it or take pictures or anything because it was just me, I wasn't really talking to many people, so it was just me. I did it for myself. Sorry, I'm not going to cut myself again to do it. Someone else actually did do a really good blood test, but it wasn't with dried blood. They got a vial of blood and they diluted it with water, with all kinds of different water. The only thing they didn't have was distilled water, because the distilled water, obviously, that's in the forensic kits, like in police cars, Colburn, it's not the kind of distilled water that you buy like at the grocery store. It's completely different. So they did it with several different kinds of water, bottled water, tap water, and I don't remember what else, but there was like 5 different things that they used, water, and they were still able to dilute the water that they got in their little blood vial, and make all of those drips and swipes and stuff, and it didn't look any different. So no matter what kind of water they used, it still came out to look the same. So it's possible. It's definitely possible to water down blood and have it still look. I'm sorry. And this other person, the person that I was talking about, they did it with straight blood, just straight out of the vial, and dripped it and swiped it. And then they watered it down with several different kinds of water, and made separate swipes for each one. And it looked identical. It's so close that you would never notice it just looking at it. I'm sure that it could, I thought about this. It probably could be tested in a lab. Does this have any kind of water in it? They could probably determine that. But then I thought about it, and when a blood sample is taken, they wet the Q-tip with the distilled water or whatever. They wet the Q-tip and then swipe it in the dried blood. So there's going to be water in it. So how do you test for the same water, especially if it's the same water, if it's distilled water? How do you test for that? It's not going to show up because it's already got, that it's got the water in it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you. I just wanted to say, please don't think I'm crazy. I've done this. I'm all serious. I'll do my key experiment with the little mark on my finger. Can I start my car and make that mark in any kind of way, naturally or unnaturally? I don't care. I know I'm going to go do a video later today where I swab all 4 of my cars with a Q-tip, because someone last night on Laura's video did not believe that that the black that was on the Q-tip would stay there if it got wet. And I'm going to show you that it will, and it does. Anyway, I'm all about doing my testing if I can. If the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to do it. So, because I want to know. We all want to know. I want to know, and gonna do what I can. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.